Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus, spokesman, advocate of basic human rights for all people. Basic human rights for all people, inalienable rights for every human being on the face of the earth. This is what this mission is all about. This is a mission of love, a mission of life. And this title that I have is not for the state. It's not for a 501c. It is a mission of love from the spirit of life that comes through me for every last one of you. There's so much going on in the world today, and so many of you are so unaware of what's happening. And as I focus on this conversation that I'd like to have with you tonight, and I guess it's not a conversation, but rather a message to you for which this love is directed. Yes, there are a lot of things going on in the world today, and people got various ways and means of interpreting these things and creating an understanding that usually and always, if the truth be known, fails. And I want to see if I can do something, say something that would make a difference this time. I don't want to say anything to frustrate you because you're frustrated enough. I don't want to sugarcoat anything because the truth must be known. It is the truth that will set us free. It is the truth that will set you free. And if I'm going to take time to say anything to you and you take time to listen, then I think it's worthy of truth. And so I will say, the world is beautiful, and at the same time it is ugly. But God will not be mocked. And I know that many of you might be offended when I use the expression God, but I'm going to use it because it's true. And if you are offended, in time, what I want you to know, ladies and gentlemen, is that there are a lot of strange things going on in the world, and many of you are well aware of what they are. And some of you are going along as if your head is in the sand and you couldn't care less. And if you really knew what was going on, you would probably thank God that you had been blessed a luxury of not knowing it before now. However, you should know, those of you who are wanting to know, is that God is just. And everything that we as people are experiencing here in the United States of America, we deserve. Every last one of us. We might not want to admit it. We have played various roles, and many of us have concluded that our role was proper, is proper, and that others were not. But in truth, we are all in the soup together right now. And if it tastes funky, that means us as well. And if we're going to take away this old flavor and create a new flavor, then it's going to require that everybody, every part of the soup plays its role and be as delicious as we can be. What I'm basically saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is we have brought ourselves to a point where it almost appears as if the world can terminate by the powers that be and resistance from the true power. What is happening is that killing, lying, cheating, stealing, and all of the ugly things that goes on in the world, we have allowed it to continue. And it has come to a point where every life on the planet is threatened. People who have hijacked not only our government, but governments throughout the world. They have hijacked all of the systems within each power, each what used to be a sovereign power, but now an extension of the New World Order, as it were. We have sold out ourselves to the judges, all of the institutions, and the only thing that is keeping us right now in a measure of hopeful freedom, and it is a freedom under slavery, is that enough of us, just enough of us, are still holding back, strengthening our will, if it were, as if we can't let go. But it is a chokehold that's coming back at us, and it's about to fall. And yet, it is justice. It is justice because when we look and see problems of the world, these are problems that have just been passed on from generation to generation. When we look at our kids today, they are a reflection of the generation current. And that is the generation of tomorrow, as we are the generation that received from the prior. It's just a continuation. And why is it a continuation? It is a continuation because we are all living on the side of a lie. And no one is going outside of the box. No one is venturing outside of the box. Because to venture outside of the box means that you leave here. And so we are all caught inside of the box with all of our various philosophies and all of our visions and all of our smartness. But none of it liberates us because we are still behind the line of the lie. Now, what is the lie? We have heard it said by many different lies. But the point that is really needs to be addressed here is an understanding. So the point that I would like to focus on for this is that we have been lied to when the earth began. For those of you who are Bible scholars, in the garden, the Father said unto the Son, you can do anything in here you want, but just do not do this. In other words, there is a restriction. Do not violate it. And if you do, that is the day you will surely die. There's always somebody smarter than the smart one that comes to the garden and says to the one who did not have the direct instruction from the Father and said, you will not surely die. And if you, and this is in essence, bow down and serve me, if you do my will, I will show you how to be God. Sound pretty good by some of the smoothest talkers in the world. And so we go back, the story says, to Adam, where Eve says, Adam, we will not surely die. I heard. And if we can be God. We will know good and evil. We will be able to decide for ourselves which is best. Adam got a choice to make, similar to the choice that we all have to make. And Adam eventually, or right away, I don't know which one, but he said yes. And then the smart one looked at them and said, See, I told you you would not surely die. And now there's doubt in these two children of the Father. We will not surely die. We are alive. So this must be the enlightened one. This must be the one we should follow. But they were not smart as God. They thought they were, but they had been deceived. Because how can one describe death who has never experienced death? What does it mean to die? Well, whatever it meant, they didn't know what it was, because nothing changed as far as they knew. And so they began to follow the lie. Follow the lie. Everything that they did was in response to the lie. If you follow me, if you yield to me, I will show you how to be God. And everything that they do is a continuation of the lie. And in this continuation of a lie, they were actually dead. But they didn't know what it meant to be dead. What did it mean to be dead? It meant to be absent the truth. If you do not have the truth, you are dead. If you do not have the truth, you are walking a dead plank. And so all of mankind continuously are dead, living the lie. But how do you overcome the lie? How do you overcome the lie? You must be born again. That which you have ingested, that have made you the greatest nation in the world in your own mind, the most precious people in your own mind, the most precious person in your own mind, who deserves more than anybody in your own mind. You must erase that stuff and be born again in the Spirit. And what does that mean, being born again in the Spirit? It means seeing a new way of life. And as you've championed the lie and made it what it is, brought you to the point of destruction, now make the truth what the truth is. Life, abundant life, peace, prosperity, and joy. That's your mission as being born again. I'm going to stop right now, ladies and gentlemen, because for this particular broadcast, I only got 15 minutes, and I got to stop before 15 minutes are up. But I'll come right back with part 2. Thank you.